right, everyone, they are walking over now. So that's your 4-minute mark. I think it takes about 4 minutes to get here. Something like that.
Have a list of prospective speakers, do you, on your phone?
Not on my
I get it
phone.
from AC. Is AC doing this one or the other gentleman?
Alvaro. Alvaro?
Alvaro's
Alvaro.
one? Is he with ACs?
Yes, he's here.
Same Miami opinion?
Yeah.
Thank you. There. Hello, we're gonna commence at 6:30. or the afternoon brief. To open it up, we're going to go with the speakers, English and Spanish for those that weren't here this afternoon. We're going to have the Creole translator and then go into questions and answers. To open it up, we have the Miami-Dade County Mayor, Honorable Daniela Levine Cava.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. Search and rescue continued throughout the day, as you know, despite the terrible weather, and we are continuing to make headway in our search. Since our last briefing, very unfortunately, one additional victim was recovered. So the number of deceased is now at 12, and this number of accounted for is 125. We had previously included the number of deceased in the accounted number, but for clarity moving forward, we will be providing you with three separate numbers: the deceased, the accounted, and the unaccounted. The number of unaccounted is now 149. And over the past few days, we've been conducting an audit of our list of missing persons, and we've been working to verify and remove duplicates wherever possible. I hope you can understand we're getting this information from lots of different sources and often not complete, so it's very important that we go through to cull the list. So our detectives are working around the clock to get in touch with all of those who've been identified and then reaching out to provide information to verify the reports. So we will be producing a more accurate, finalized number and getting it to you. It's important to keep in mind that we receive information from many different sources. For example, multiple family members might call in about the same person, or family members might provide both English name and Hebrew name of a loved one. And some people are reporting in person, and some are calling from overseas. Some are distant friends of those who are missing. So we're getting all kinds of information from all these different sources, and sometimes we only get a name or an apartment number. Sometimes we don't have both. So we're sifting through all of this information to determine which of these reports are in fact new and which are duplicates, and this is a slow and methodical process. So we ask you to be patient as we continue this audit. And I want to continue to stress, as we have done all along, that these numbers are very fluid and they continue to change. In terms of the work that we're doing to support the families, we have now fully opened our expanded Family Assistance Center, and we have 3 psychotrauma therapists on the site, along with all of the services we continue to provide, over 20 different organizations involved. We have been overwhelmed with the generosity of people throughout this community and the entire world. So many generous offers of assistance and support, and we want to urge those who want to support these families and this effort to Operation Helping Hands. There are also volunteer opportunities available, and many have contacted us about that. You can make a contribution and sign up to volunteer at miamidade.gov/emergency. So that is a site that combines all of the different resources for people who want to help. Our first responders, who are the focus of our attention as they continue around the clock on this mound, are continuing the brave and very, very difficult task, putting themselves in danger. It is their life's work to search for people alive in circumstances such as this, and they are truly the best in the world, and we truly have all of the help that we need, and they have been working non-stop, as you know, for nearly 6 days. So please pray for them and their families, and join us with support and donations and volunteering as you're able. Buenas tardes a todos. La misión de búsqueda y rescate ha continuado durante todo el día, a pesar del clima intermitente, la lluvia y seguimos avanzando en nuestra búsqueda. Desde nuestra última sesión aquí, se recuperó una víctima más. El número de fallecidos ahora es 12. El número contabilizado es 125. Anteriormente incluíamos el número de fallecidos en el número contabilizado, pero para mayor claridad le proporcionaremos 3 números separados en el futuro: fallecido, contabilizado y no contabilizado. El número de desaparecidos ahora es 149. Durante los últimos días hemos estado realizando una auditoría de nuestra lista de personas desaparecidas y trabajando para verificar y eliminar duplicados siempre que sea posible. Nuestros detectives trabajan las 24 horas del día para ponerse en contacto con quienes se acercan a proporcionar información para verificar los informes. Seguimos instando a aquellos que desean apoyar nuestro esfuerzo a donar a uno de los fondos disponibles. También hay oportunidades de voluntariado disponibles y puede hacer una contribución y registrarse para ser voluntario en la página red miamidade.gov/emergency. Nuestros socorristas continúan enfrentando circunstancias muy difíciles y peligrosas y estamos increíblemente agradecidos por todo lo que están haciendo. Estos hombres y mujeres son realmente los mejores del mundo y lo que hacen es el mejor. Estamos con las personas que necesitamos y no necesitamos más ayuda ahora en la búsqueda y rescate. Oremos por ellos y por nuestras familias. Gracias a todos.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Division Director for Office of Emergency Management, acting as Deputy Incident Commander, Charles Cyril.
Good evening, everyone. Under the leadership of our mayor, Miami-Dade County is coordinating a unified response to search, rescue, and assist all residents that have been impacted by this incident. We have over 50 agencies here now and over 900 personnel responding, to include partners in the county, such as Animal Services, Department of Environmental Resource Management, Department of Public Works, Solid Waste, and many others. Of course, our first responders, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue and Miami-Dade Police Department. This coordinated operation is helped to facilitate a seamless integration of these other partners, like our federal partners and our state partners as FEMA and the Florida Division of Emergency Management. We have successfully opened the Florida Assistance Center today, as the mayor has mentioned. Today was our first full day, and we have serviced quite a few families as they are in need, and we are here to assist them. As she also mentioned, and I want to reiterate, if you want to know about services that the county is providing, or if you need assistance and you are out there and you are impacted by this incident, please go to miamidade.gov/emergency. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And to translate for the Deputy Incident Commander, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue PAO, Erica Benitez.
La cual unifica varios departamentos del condado, incluyendo el Departamento de Bomberos de Miami-Dade, el Departamento de la Policía y varios otros departamentos, al igual que socios federales, estatales, locales, internacionales sin fines de lucro y también parte del sector privado. Esta operación coordinada de más de 40 socios y 700 socorristas ayuda a facilitar una integración perfecta de los servicios para estas operaciones de búsqueda y rescate, así como la asistencia para los afectados de esta tragedia. Y les recordamos a todas las personas que estén buscando o necesiten ayuda, los familiares, que visiten miamidade.gov/emergency.
Thank you, Erica. Representing the Florida Division of Emergency Management, Director Kevin Guthrie.
Good evening, everyone. We're wrapping up another day, and state agencies continue to identify unmet needs and provide support to our local partners of Miami-Dade County. To date, the State Emergency Response Team has fulfilled more than 80 requests and have 18 requests that are currently being fulfilled. The most significant of those 18 requests being fulfilled right now is a request that has come in within the last hour to ask the federal government for one additional Type 1 urban search and rescue team. Most likely that team will be deployed from the eastern seaboard, possibly Virginia. These requests can vary from logistics needs to personnel needs. We're working around the clock to ensure our local partners have everything that they need to successfully respond to this incident. Today, the governor and I met with our partners at FEMA to discuss additional ways that we may be able to find assistance for our local partners. We also know there are many Floridians out there looking for ways to support this response as well. The best and most effective way is the form of a cash donation. Funds have been launched by established local organizations to receive monetary donations. Support Surfside.org and NeighborsForNeighbors.org/SurfsideFund are two legitimate donation sites that people can go and donate. We did receive one report today at the Florida Division of Emergency Management. There is at least one fraudulent company out there on the web. So again, these two sites are valid. Support Surfside.org and NeighborsForNeighbors.org/SurfsideFund. If individuals are not donating cash, they should confirm that there's a legitimate need before collecting items and material donations, and coordinate that through Miami-Dade Emergency Management. Also, the United Way of Miami-Dade has resources available on their website to help victims of the Surfside building collapse. On their website, volunteers can actually sign up to help families affected by this tragic event. To become an emergency relief volunteer, you can also visit volunteermiami.org. Finally, if you're still looking for yet another way to contribute, we encourage you to utilize the state's Volunteer Connect portal for opportunities. That site is available at volunteerflorida.org. I want to reemphasize the mayor's message. Volunteers should never self-deploy. We need it to be in a coordinated fashion. Please remember to coordinate your deployment through Miami-Dade Emergency Management. Self-deploying may cause difficulties for organizations on the ground and create additional risk if individuals do not have the appropriate training. We're so grateful that during this time, so many individuals have come out from all over the place to want to help and volunteer. But we want that volunteering to be done in the proper manner. We encourage all of you to share these resources again. Help us amplify our message. Help us get that message out as we continue to help support our fellow Floridians. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett.
Good evening. The rescue effort continues unabated, except for that brief lightning storm we had today. I'd like to also add that I want to sort of supplement that story I told the other night about that 12-year-old girl and tell you where we are on that, because a lot of people have asked. The 12-year-old girl's name is Ellie Sheva. She lives with her mother, and her father and her uncle were in the building when it went down. She just happened to be staying that night with her mother. Normally, she goes back and forth. Last night, I met her brother, who flew in from Israel. He's 19 years old. His name is Avi, and we talked. He mentioned again, I think, that his mother is suffering some financial distress, given that the father was paying the bills, and now those funds are not available. She asked for assistance. I reached out to Mary Snow of the Coral Gables Community Foundation, which is also running the supportsurfside.org site. The good news is we now have $1.9 million raised so far at the supportsurfside.org site. We have already funded a handful of nonprofits and dozens of needy families. It's working. Your donations are having an impact. Well, thank you, Mayor Cava. Thank you for everything you and Dade County are doing. We're grateful.
Thank you, Mayor. In the Creole translator, Leonard Lerebourg.
Bonjour tout le monde. Depuis nous t'ai parlé jeudi, nous t'ai gagné l'autre monde qui a ajouté dans la catégorie monde qui mourir. Pendant que nous cherchons toujours à continuer pour nous voir si nous sommes capables de joindre monde qui est encore vivant. Pour le moment, quantité de monde que encore compté qu'il a toujours, il y a 125. Monde que compté que nous pouvons joindre, c'est 149. À partir de Kounia, nous avons trois catégories de monde. Par rapport à ça, nous avons fait dans la semaine qui sont dans les jours qui sont passés. Nous avons quantité de monde que nous joignons, quantité de monde que nous pas joignons, avec quantité de monde qui mourent. Il y a un audit que nous allons faire qui pourra permettre que nous nettoyions la liste de monde que nous pas voyons et la liste ça permettre que nous enlever non qui dupliqués dans la liste là. Pour le moment, nous permettons tout que les gens qui veulent faire volontariat capable de participer comme volontaire, leur ça sont capables de venir dans un site internet que nous allons faire qui c'est miamidade.gov/volontaire. Donc, miamidade.gov/volontaire. Merci.
Thank you, sir. We're going to open for questions, and again, we will ask you to do it in an orderly fashion until you're selected upon, and then we move on. Sir?
Thank you. Mayor and to the state, just for clarification, first of all, you had said no more resources were needed, but a request has been made from another urban search and rescue team. Can you clarify that seeming contradiction that no more resources are needed, but we're bringing in a new urban search and rescue?
Yes, so from the state side of the House, I spoke with Chief Kaminsky. This was a joint decision between myself and Chief Kaminsky. We do have two potential areas of development that are out in the Atlantic right now heading into the Caribbean. So the thought process that both the Chief and I talked about today is we have all 8 urban search and rescue teams engaged in this fight from Florida. So we talked about doing a relief. So we have all the resources we need, but we're going to bring in another team to, if you will, backfill those resources so that, again, there's no more needed resources in the numbers of people. But we want to rotate those out so that we can get some resources back in case in 7 to 10 days or so we may be dealing with some type of tropical cyclone. Chief.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we've always had 3 federal teams besides Florida Task Force 1 and Florida Task Force 2, which are also part federal, but we're here locally, on standby. So they've been standby, we just haven't deployed them or requested them. Due to the recent 5-day forecast with 2 storms, we decided that it would be best to go ahead and activate them, so make that request. So the one will head this way, and then we'll look to see what we'll go ahead and release.
I just follow to anybody, any experts, or the mayor, your thoughts and concerns about the stability of the building. What are engineers saying about the concerns about the stability of the building that's still standing? How concerned are you that it will remain standing?
So we have the structural engineers on site. They're monitoring extremely closely everything that's happening there because obviously we cannot put our first responders in danger. And we're removing items that we can that might fall off the building. So we are taking necessary measures to avoid those sorts of falling items. But at this time, it's not considered that the building is at risk of collapse, but it is unstable, and so we are no longer entering into the building.
Carlo?
Carlos with NBC6. My question is would be for the fire chief, although it might be open to someone else. A line of dump trucks arrived here late this afternoon. Can you walk us through where they're staging? Is the hope to start moving some of this debris right now?
Yes, those dump trucks are going to our evidence debris collection site. We're moving debris as fire rescue does what they're doing there to move the debris. We're relocating it to a location where it'll be also collected, sift through, a catalog photograph for future investigative purposes.
How are you deciding what gets hauled away to the warehouse space?
There are detectives on the scene, engineers, they're just loading the trucks. Analyzed. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Judy Block, ABC News for you, Chief. There was a scanner report that there was an injury with the first responder. I'd like you to confirm that if that's true and if you can update on us. And also, do you have plans to shore up the building as a follow-up to that? When would that happen?
Yes, for the first question, in regards to our fire rescue personnel, we did have one individual that appeared to have dehydration. So yes, they were transported to be further evaluated in stable condition. In regards to the building, yes, I mean that's definitely a concern. This whole scene that we're working on, I can't emphasize enough, the dangers that we're encountering. So we're definitely been monitoring throughout. Our USAR teams have structural engineers. We had several other engineers on site evaluating as well, and we're constantly monitoring.
So is there a plan to shore up before these storms potentially arrive?
No, well, that I can't comment. I mean, I think it'd be difficult in that sense right now. Again, our primary focus is our rescue efforts.
Corner over here.
No, I'm not aware of that. I mean, we definitely don't have any machinery propping up the building. We have a zone that we're making sure we're staying, a certain distance from the building.
Then the debris propping up the building, that part of the pile was?
Well, the debris that's there, we're leaving, yes. I mean, we are leaving that there just in regards to, again, the concerns with the structural integrity of the building. That's why, as the mayor stated, we will not make any other entries into that building, and we'll definitely monitor it. And yes, that's why we're not clearing out that area.
Spanish over here.
Okay, my question is for the Miami-Dade Fire Department, Erika, en español. Erika, quisiéramos saber qué están haciendo para rescatar a las mascotas que quizá quedaron atrapadas en el edificio de los dueños.
La pregunta es qué estamos haciendo para rescatar a las personas que están...
Que los dueños escaparon, o sea, se fueron y quizá quedaron en el edificio, las mascotas.
Bueno, o sea, en este momento se ha hecho varias búsquedas y sabemos que no se ha dado reportes de tener ninguna mascotas todavía dentro del edificio. Eso se hacen varias búsquedas y esto aseguramos obviamente para enfatizar que no haya nadie en el edificio, incluyendo animales o mascotas.
Otra pregunta es sobre los topos de México que vinieron a ayudar, no sé si los van a dejar que colaboren con la búsqueda.
Sí, bueno, sí sabemos que están aquí. Nosotros tenemos todos los recursos necesarios en este momento, pero ellos se incorporarán vamos a tener la necesidad de incorporarlos. En este momento eso es algo que se evalúa y cuando llegue a darse el momento para brindarles esa oportunidad, ellos se van a incorporar a nuestro equipo.
Janine, the last one here.
Hi. Yeah, it's for the fire chief. Chief, can you explain, I'm Janine from Channel 10, can you explain sort of the mapping that your crews are doing on the rubble? I think it's so hard to understand how that could be. I mean, it just looks like a pile of rubble, but you're able to kind of map it out to find out where potential victims are. And then my second question is, how is everybody? It's been 6 really long days. How are your crews physically and emotionally?
Well, with the first part, in regards to the rescue grids, We do have it mapped out, and it's in a number: B1, B2, B3 is one area that we look. D1, D2, D3 is another area we look, and then G1, G2, G3. So that's how our grid system is in regards to rescue. You know, we overlay maps. There's GIS layers that we put in, how the building looked before the collapse. So all those come into factors where we're expecting certain areas, what we're looking for. And as we were talking about through this delayering process in each grid, you know, that's where we focus. Again, we continue the same tactics in regards to looking with, you know, our sonar equipment, any video equipment, in regards to doing any sweeps, anything along those lines, as well as any other signs, you know, that might show as we're delayering, you know, a certain area or a certain location. In regards to our spirits, you know, we're still again, it's an extremely difficult situation, you know, and we're out here 110%. As I stated earlier, couldn't be prouder. You know, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, you know, the brave men and women firefighters that are under my command, as well as the task force teams and all of us working together. I mean, this is just such a unified approach. You know, this is, you know, these are the times that are the most difficult, you know, but it's, we're here to do a job. We're here with a passion. You know, this is what we do. And, you know, hopefully we have some success.
I just want to be joined by so many other support teams. The fact that we have our police, our social services, our federal agencies, our state agencies, our volunteer agencies, our cities, all working together for one common purpose creates a real esprit de corps, and so we're all working together around the clock to get it done. We're united. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.